What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batgirls issue number 7. This one's written by Becky Cloonan and Michael W. Conrad with art by Robbie Rodriguez. So Jorge Corona is not doing the art this time around, showing a little bit of a shift in style. And yeah, so this one takes place after the events of the previous issue where Seer kind of came to the Batgirls to kind of turn herself in, sort of, but she also kind of needed their help. And this issue jumps ahead just a little bit. So basically, Seer was having issues with the Saints because the Saints found out that Simon Saint really isn't alive and that she was secretly manipulating them. Still more leftover magistrate stuff, and I feel like every other book has kind of just moved past the magistrate stuff. Maybe, I don't know if I Am Batman has kind of dropped that book because I just wasn't really enjoying it. But I'm just kind of like, can we just move past the magistrate already? I was kind of hoping the last arc would do so, but maybe after these next two issues, we can finally just move past it in general. I'm a little fatigued when it comes to the magistrate stuff. But anyway, so Seer is there. The Batgirls have to kind of work together with her. They don't really want to. They don't trust either party, but they're still just not, because Seer came to them, they're just on their toes. They're trying to stay guarded from what Seer could be doing. So yeah, the Saints are kind of after Seer. We also find the origin of Seer. Her name is Kira Kosev. She was the daughter of a mob family, or at least some sort of connection there. We find out that basically bad childhood upbringing. She was basically kind of abandoned. Her family had connections to the Cobblepot, Oswald Cobblepot, and like I said, the mob. And basically she was kind of left to the wayside, and then she eventually formed the identity Seer and kind of did her own thing. But yeah, so we got that going on. Seer leads the Saints to her little secret lair, which is basically underneath the Iceberg Lounge. And so they have to find a way to kind of infiltrate it with the Saints kind of on guard. Babs decides to go right through kind of the front door of the Iceberg Lounge basically in her own undercover way. You get kind of those moments where Cass and Steph and them all kind of fantasize about going undercover, but really it's just Babs who's going to do so. And she even enlists the help of a friend, none other than her boyfriend, Dick Grayson. That's right, they're actually kind of going out on a date. They're even kind of complimenting each other, being a little bit flirty here. Cass and Steph take down one of the Saints, and the next issue kind of sets up what they're going to do next. It'll be interesting to see. I wasn't actually expecting Nightwing to show up in this book. I know, surprising, right? They've referenced him a bunch of times, but I didn't really expect him to kind of show up in this issue. So I'm looking forward to seeing kind of how they play off each other a little bit in the next issue, where they have to go undercover in the Iceberg Lounge. It's something a little bit fun. I like when the superheroes have to kind of do little undercover missions. It feels like we've kind of gotten away from some of the stuff like this, where they're kind of using their civilian identities to gain information or try and figure things out. And it'll be kind of neat to see how they play off each other. So I'm looking forward to that, because it's something we really even haven't gotten much of in even the Tom Taylor Nightwing book. We don't see Dick and Babs so much going undercover together for stuff like this. So I'm looking forward to that. It's kind of like when Detective Comics recently did that, where Bruce Wayne got the information as opposed to Batman, kind of playing off his charms and stuff. So I like stuff like that. In terms of the background of Seer, it's not necessarily what I was expecting, but I didn't really have much in terms of expectations as to who Seer was. I guess it's trying to gain a little bit of sympathy for her character, but she did do some pretty bad things throughout the events of Fear State, so it doesn't really excuse a lot of her actions. It's kind of weird how Seer just kind of felt way more threatening during Fear State, and then as soon as this book kind of came to be, it's like Seer is just kind of just a kid, maybe just above average. I don't know exactly how old Kira is in this thing, but she looks rather young. Either that, or she's just kind of short. She kind of looks a little bit so it's kind of reminding me a bit of Edna Mode with the glasses there from Incredibles. And in terms of the name Kira, when I think of that, I think immediately of Death Note. So is there some sort of kind of nod or connection there that I'm not seeing? I don't know. It's just kind of something that I thought of, because when you think about Akira, and that was that was Light Yagami disguised, and it was just kind of a code name, and then everybody in the world was just kind of threatened by Kira, who had the power to kind of take down governments and stuff. I don't know if that's just a little nod or something, but it's just kind of something that I picked up on. Art by Robbie Rodriguez, I think, is pretty decent for the most part. Definitely stylistically very different from the Jorge Corona stuff, But I think it works because, like I said, this is a new story arc entirely, kind of like this says, even at the beginning here, it says parts 1 of 2. So I think after this issue, we'll finally, like, hopefully be done with all the leftover Magistrate stuff. No more Simon Saints, no more the Saints here. We can kind of move on into doing some different things, and maybe they'll wrap up the Seer storyline in general, and then we can kind of move in a bit of a new direction. Like, I feel like I've been seeing the whole, like, Fear State stuff for so long. I just kind of want to move on from it personally. I think I think a lot of readers have kind of seen enough of it. So it'll be interesting to see what they do going on from there. In terms of the characterization, if you've seen some of my other videos on the Batgirls book, you know that Cass and Steph are written very differently from the rest of the DC universe. They almost feel like two entirely different characters, but they're written in a more lighthearted tone. Something very, like, tonally out of place with what's going on in the rest of the DC universe in terms of their characters. Like, they feel like children. And yeah, I get they're still young, but they feel like preteens, like very young teenage girls, the way they're kind of written in this thing. It's a little bit more goofy and kind of a bit out of place. But if you kind of look at this thing as its own thing, like stylistically and tonally, I think it's fine. I think it's younger readers will get into it. Maybe some older readers. It definitely has, like, a more lighthearted tone, but if you're looking for something that's more in line with their characterizations, it's gonna feel a little bit off. Like, I don't really hate these issues. In fact, I do enjoy reading Batgirls. I just kind of have to look at it as it's kind of its own thing, because it just does not fit with the rest of the ongoing DC universe in terms of the characterization and the style and everything. So yeah, there's that. If you have any other, like, comments on the issue or anything like that, tell me your thoughts in the comment section down below. I do think the issue is fine. I do enjoy reading Batgirls for the most part. It's not like something I dread reading every month. Like I said, it's lighthearted, it's enjoyable, it can be fun at times, and then even if my other issues aside, I still, like, it's at least readable. Like, there's some books that are just so boring or just downright bad in terms of everything else that at least this one I can kind of get into, because it's something more lighthearted. Even if it is tonally different, it's easy to follow for the most part. So there's that. But I am looking forward to seeing what they do in the next issue, though, because Dick and Babs going undercover at the Iceberg Lounge, that could be fun. That could be fun. We haven't really gotten something like that in a long time, I feel like. So there's that. In terms of Seer, I haven't really cared too much for this character in general, but maybe this will change by the time the next issue rolls around. I'm just kind of hoping we finish up the whole Magistrate, Fear State, all that stuff, and then we can move on to other things. I know the Magistrate thing is still kind of going on in all those Future State and Gotham books, but I just want to just be done with the Magistrate at this point. Like, Simon Saint is gone. I know this is kind of the lingering effects. Let's finish this up, and then let's move in a new direction, which I think Dark Crisis is going to do. Perhaps even kind of do a reboot or relaunch of the DC universe, and then we can hopefully move into some new and exciting directions. All right, well, that's all I got to say. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of the issue in the comment section down below. And yeah, thanks so much for reading. I got another video coming out later on today about Batman Urban Legends. And yeah, I think that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.